Mme de Franchi had professed her deep hate for Marianne Guidici and all the rest of the family. Imagine then the breathless moment when the de Franchi door is opened and Marianne stands on the threshold. Lucien, Louis, and Griffo are out in the woods, and Mme de Franchi herself has answered the door. The two women stare at each other. Both dark-eyed, both tall and handsome. One handsome with the dignity of age, the other with the flush of young beauty. This is their first meeting. Two women who through the years have hated each the name of the other.
I said I am Marianne Guidici.
You?
Yes, you are Mme de Franchi, I know.
How dare you? How dare you come here? If I had a knife, a gun, I would strike you down at this very moment.
Oh, wait. Please listen to what I have to say. I've come, Mme de Franchi, because I love your son.
You witch! You vile, filthy witch!
I'm not a witch. Oh, please, Mme de Franchi, I know you hate our family, but your son, he loves me. Don't you understand? He loves me.
Quiet! Close that vile mouth.
Where is he? Where is Lucien? I must see him, don't you understand? I've got to see him. I've got to explain.
If you value your life, get out. Go from here quickly.
Not until I see Lucien.
Go! By heaven, I'll throttle you with these two hands.
Don't! Madame!
Mme de Franchi, what are you doing?
Tell her to be gone. Tell her to be out of my sight, or I shall find a gun this instant and shoot her dead.
Madame, have you lost your senses?
It is she. It is Marianne Guidici, the woman who would kill my son, who would kill me.
Madame does not understand, monsieur. I'm trying to explain.
You better go.
But I want to see Lucien.
You must go. If you're a Guidici, go quickly. Look, Madame hurries down the hall. If she has found some weapon, go quickly.
Monsieur, you don't understand.
You shouldn't have come. Whatever your mission is, you shouldn't have come here. You take your life in your hands. Go, please. I'll close the door in your face. I must restrain Madame, otherwise there'll be tragedy. Madame, where are you? Madame, where are you?
Is she still there? This dagger, it is all I could lay hands on at the moment.
Madame, please.
This dagger, let go my wrist. Do you not understand? This Marianne Guidici, she who for years has sworn to wipe us out, to murder us one by one.
Madame, you can't leave this room. I'll stand before the door till she goes.
But, Monsieur Godet...
I know, Madame, she's your enemy. But something very urgent has brought her here.
She is a witch. She has come to try and weave a spell over one of my sons. You noticed her beauty, Monsieur. She is even more beautiful than I thought. That means she is dangerous, perilous. She would bring harm to my son, perhaps to both my boys.
Madame, she didn't come here to make trouble or to fight. She probably realizes that she took her life in her hands. If you'd only heard her out...
I never want to hear that voice again. I want to still it forever and ever.
I'm sorry. I know that I'm a guest here, but I must be firm, Madame. You shall stay here in this room until she's well away.
Curse you, Monsieur Godet. Curse you.
Later, when your temper is cool, you'll thank me, Mme de Franchi.
Meanwhile, Louis and Lucien, together with Griffo, had walked across the hills to the next summit, and then down into a valley where a torrent tumbled over the black rocks, a torrent like a bleeding artery from the flesh of a green carpet, of moist leaves and rotting vegetation from which steam was already rising, the warm steam drawn by the hot summer's sun. Here in the valley there was the hum of insects and crisscrossing of sunlit shafts through the trees, and the occasional thud of falling fruit, and the cry of a bird in the distance. Griffo was pushing on up the mountain slope, but Lucien had halted Louis and entreated him to rest. As they stopped at the edge of the torrent, Lucien leaned over a rock and drank his fill of the icy cold water. A butterfly with iridescent wings glittered for an instant in its flight through the trees.
Oh, Lucien, what a lovely place.
Do you wonder, Louis, why I prefer to be here? You've no idea how Paris oppressed me.
This magnificent wilderness. I feel now that I'm just an atom in time and space. I see myself as nothing.
And yet, to yourself, you are the world, the center of your own universe.
It's really our universe, isn't it, Lucien? You and I, born under twin stars, sharing so much of each other. I wonder if we're alike deep down.
Yes, Louis.
How do you know?
We both love. Deep down, we're both capable of the greatest love in the world. Love has broken your heart, Louis. And gradually, it's breaking mine. Oh, I don't know which is worse. To love and be disillusioned, or to love and know that your love is futile, because it cannot be consummated.
Is there really no hope, then, for you, Lucien?
No hope at all. You yourself should know that, Louis. Didn't Marianne say to you that she'd shoot on sight?
Only because she didn't believe that I was your twin brother?
No, apart from that, her father would kill me tomorrow. My mother would kill Marianne.
It's not in your heart to forget?
Never. One may as well ask you to forget about Amélie Latouche. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned her name. It was wrong of me, Louis. The doctor said that you were only to think of happy things.
Oh, I think I'm becoming resigned to it now, Lucien. The worst is over. There's a difference between you and me. You're unhappy because you can't realize your love. I'm not unhappy anymore. Rather am I bitter towards life itself.
Don't be disillusioned. Think of your life before you, Louis. Corsica, this lovely valley. Nature says that everything must have the will to live. Now look at those fish trying to jump up the falls. Why, it's almost an impossible task, and yet some do succeed. The others try and try again, until exhausted they're probably smashed against the jagged rocks. But Louis, they have the will to live and to bring life into the world, to put their eggs up here in the still waters so that their young will be safe.
Perhaps I do want to live, really. I expect if one of the Medici came on us now suddenly, that I'd fight to defend my own life and yours. Yes, perhaps under all this veneer, we all strive to keep the vital spark within us. Well, it's getting on. We'd better get moving.
No, I think you'd better rest a little more, Louis. It's your first long trip.
It's what I've been looking forward to, Lucien. To come here into the woods with you. To feel the real Corsica, away from civilization. This is where you teach me to hunt, to shoot, to fish. To learn this new life, which is all I have left.
It'll be a wonderful heritage, Louis. In a year's time, I think you'll look back on this moment, and you'll realize that a new Louis has emerged. A Louis who will laugh at Paris, at its pretenses, and most of all, who will laugh at its Amélie Latouches.
And so the two brothers, hour by hour, searched the innermost recesses of their respective minds and were amazed at the... Even though Lucien had been brought up in a somewhat primitive way, Louis with a cultural background, these twins were as one. Later, as the sun was setting, they had gained the path which led to home. These two young men felt more keenly than ever before the brother bond between them, and found in it a united strength. Not until they entered the doors of the de Franchi home did they find that there was an atmosphere in the house which was not in tune with the spirit of their day in the woods. In the living room, they came across Madame in the act of loading a gun.
Mother!
Oh,
Mother, what are you doing?
I am taking precautions. How are you, Louis? Tired, I suppose?
No, Mother. I feel the day out's done me a great deal of good.
Here, Mother. I'll look after that gun.
No, Lucien.
One would almost think you were about to go out hunting. Perhaps we should have taken you with us today, Oh, if only you had seen the birds we came across. The pheasants. Where's Pierre?
He is changing for dinner.
What's the matter with you, Mother? You're not yourself.
I have had a worrying day.
Worrying?
What's happened?
Nothing. It is just that I feel one should be prepared.
Don't tell me the Medici are in the neighborhood.
One should always be prepared, whether the Medici are near or not. On your way home, you saw no one?
No, except one or two of the villagers milking the goats. Why?
Nothing, Lucien. I think perhaps you two boys had better bath and change. You look travel-stained.
Well, the strange thing is, I'm tired and Louis is not, and yet he's the invalid.
I am glad, my son, that you feel so much better. This doctor has really worked miracles, and all thanks to your friend, Monsieur Godet.
Oh, I wonder who that is. I'd better go.
No.
No, but Maria is out getting the water, and Grifo is feeding the horses.
No, you two boys go and change. You're untidy, dirty. I will go.
Oh, just as you say, Mother.
So, you have come back.
Yes. I waited at the top of the hill. I waited for Lucien to come back. I know he's here because I saw him go through the gates. Madame, I want to see him. Madame. No. No, don't.
Die, you witch.
Mother, what is it? A shot. Good heavens, what's happened?
She doesn't move.
Who is it?
She doesn't move. She is dead.
Mother, who is this girl? What did she do? What made you fire? Just a moment, I'll see who it is. Marianne.
I shot her. She came after you, Lucien. And I shot her dead.
Oh, Marianne. Madame, whatever has happened, I heard a shot and Why, Mme de Franchi. What have you done?
She came after Lucien. I shot her dead.
Oh, Marianne. Marianne, speak to me. Oh, my beloved, my darling. Oh, Marianne.
She is a witch. She was trying to enslave my son. I knew she'd come back, and I shot her dead.
Madame, come with me. Come away.
I strike for the de Franchi. I strike for their honor.
Come with me, please. Oh, Marianne.
Lucien, don't lose control of yourself.
I shot her dead. Dead.
Oh, Marianne. You came for me. All the way from the south. And now...
She moves, Lucien. She's not dead.
Oh, Marianne. Marianne. Why, her heart beats. Oh, Louis, there may be hope. There still may be hope. The doctor. The great doctor from Paris.
On his way to Ajaccio this day. His holiday is finished.
If only I can be there in time. I must catch up with him. I must bring him back. Grifo! Grifo! Saddle the horses, quickly! I must catch him in time. Oh, Louis, I must catch him in time. Oh, Marianne, my darling. Cling to life for my sake. If you die, I die too.
After placing Marianne tenderly on his own bed, Lucien rushed to the stables where a horse was already saddled. Without a word to the faithful Grifo, he whipped up his horse and was off down the track in a great crowd of dust. Meanwhile, Madame, almost in a state of stupefaction, sat in the living room, Pierre Godet beside her. She seemed now to display no interest in her surroundings, and all she could say was,
I shot her dead. It was the only way.
Madame, I don't think you realize what you've done. She didn't come here to harm your son.
She is a Medici.
All the same, I'm sure she meant no harm. Oh, it's you, Louis.
Mother, are you all right?
Yes, my son. Where is he? Where is Lucien?
On his way to Ajaccio.
Ajaccio?
There's no hope for Marianne.
She is alive?
I think so. She's gravely ill.
You say there's no hope?
No. I think there may be. I couldn't tell. Nor could Maria. We only hope that Lucien can catch the doctor before he leaves Ajaccio.
She will die. She must die.
Don't say that, Mother.
She is our enemy.
You don't know how much Lucien loves her.
That is why she must die. It is a spell.
If she dies, Lucien will die, too. He will, Mother. I know what he feels in his heart. I am just a twin. I've been through the same agony. I know at this moment what he's thinking, what he's feeling.
Oh, please, God, may I be in time. Please. Please. Faster. I must catch him. I must. Half an hour before the boat sails. Oh, I must be there in time. Please, dear God. For Marianne's sake, please.
I know what he thinks, Mother. I know how he feels. If Marianne dies, there'll be yet another tragedy in the de Franchi household.
In the de Franchi home that night, the hours dragged by. Louis and Pierre, in turn, sat by Marianne's bed. Marianne's face, although unearthly white, was still beautiful as she lay so near death. Madame still sat in her great wing-back chair in the sitting room. She had made her great effort. She had struck this blow at the Medici, and now she was spent. In the early hours of the morning, Pierre, who had been resting in his own room across the hall from Lucien's room, where Marianne lay, went to Louis and told him that he must get some sleep. While they argued, they suddenly heard the sound of the dog.
Pierre, the dog. Somebody comes. Perhaps it's Lucien. It must be Lucien.
I'll come with you.
It must be he. Who else? The dogs know him.
And supposing the doctor is not with him?
Marianne, so still, so white. I've felt that perhaps, even if Lucien brings the doctor with him, it may be too late. Lucien! Is it you, Lucien?
Yes, Louis. It is I.
The doctor! Is he with you?
Yes. Dr. Correa is here at my side.
You hear, Pierre? He overtook the doctor. Oh, he's a wonderful man, this brother of mine, speeding through the night as though his horse had wings. One of these days he shall teach me to ride as he does. He's everything that I'm not.
But you're wrong, Louis. He has the accomplishments that you lack. But don't forget that you have accomplishments that he lacks. His are outdoor. Yours cultural, the studious. Together, you are strength.
Nearer and nearer came the sound of the hoofs, and soon Lucien was dismounting in the courtyard and helping Dr. Correa from his saddle. Hurrying into the house, the doctor immediately made his examination of the wounded girl. Hot water and bandages were called for, and the doctor's bag of instruments was produced. For an hour or more, the doctor busied himself, and at last, as the sun rose, painting the countryside in a bright, unnatural light, he declared that Marianne would live. With a sigh of thankfulness, Lucien left the sick room on the orders of the doctor and flung himself down in his brother's room to rest. Later in the day, when he awoke, he found the house silent and still. Walking down the stairs, he was about to go to the sick room when he saw through the open door of the living room his mother, still sitting motionless in her wing-back chair. Slowly, Lucien walked through the door into the living room and knelt down beside Mme de Franchi.
Mother.
Yes, my son.
She is going to live.
So I have been told.
Mother, what can I say to you?
There is nothing to say. I have failed.
Oh, please don't talk like that. Please don't talk like that, Mother. Marianne wouldn't harm me, Mother. She loves me. Mother, why don't you go to your room and get some sleep? You've been here all this time since it happened.
I will never sleep again. Not now that I know that woman will live.
Mother, did you love my father?
Yes.
Did you love him very much?
He was my life.
Then can't you understand that this is the way I feel about Marianne? That way Marianne feels about me.
If she had died, something here inside me would have died too, and my feelings for you.
You hate me now?
No. No, I understand, Mother. I know how you feel about the Medici. You feel that she had come here to do me some harm. Oh, Mother, don't you understand? She loved me. She'd lay down her life for me. Honestly, she would. Just as you would have laid down your life for my father when he would be alive. Come with me, Mother. Come with me to her now, please.
I loved your father very much.
Then at least you understand. You must understand that she has that same feeling for me. Otherwise she wouldn't have come here putting herself in danger. Come, Mother. Take my hand. Come with me. Be quiet. Come over to the bed, Mother, and look down at her. Could a girl with a face like that do all the vile things that we believe the Medici would do? Oh, Mother, judge for yourself. Judge kindly.
Oh.
She's heard your voice, Lucien.
Oh, Lucien.
Oh, my darling.
Oh, Lucien. I found you.
Marianne, my mother is here. She's come to tell you that now she understands.
Do you love my son?
Love him? Why, Madame, if you think otherwise, why not finish what you set out to do?
You mean...
Kill me now. Take my life from me. Because I would never want to live on without Lucien. Never.
Oh.
Oh, Mother. Mother, don't, please. Mother.
I loved your father. It was you, my son, who made me realize the feelings that lay between you and this girl. Oh, Marianne, even though you be a Medici, since you love my son, really love, I will atone for what I have done. You will see. You will see my daughter. I will atone, Marianne. I promise you.
There is no need.
It is the way of destiny. It was meant that you should live. Even when I pointed the gun at you, fired at so close a range, it was meant that your life should be spared. You are out of danger.
Yes, Madame.
Only half an inch, Mother. Half an inch nearer the heart, and Marianne would have died. Dr. Curie was quite sure of that.
Half an inch. Marianne, is it not strange? The slight, frail threads of destiny, of fate, of whatever other name we may call it, that binds us to this world. Death is near us always in some form, disease, misadventure, and yet we escape it because our destiny has arranged otherwise.
Then you believe in destiny, Madame?
Yes.
Then you must believe, Mother, that Marianne and I were intended for each other.
I do now. But what is more important, Lucien, I know that Marianne loves you. Yet to me it is so strange. Is it not true, Marianne, that you swore never to rest until we as a family had been wiped from Corsica?
Yes. But please be understanding, Madame. Remember that as a child I was taught to hate the Mme de Franchi. My father is a bitter man. Even now he turned me from my house because he knows I love a de Franchi.
That is the proof, Marianne. You have sacrificed everything, risked your life.
I was so unhappy, Madame. I would not have cared if I had died. But now that I know that between Lucien and I, love emerged, everything in life is possible, I am happy, truly happy.
As I said before, I shall atone for what I have done, my daughter.
Marianne Gadicci and her happiness. A happiness which as yet she cannot fully realize, since she is still very weak from loss of blood. But Dr. Corre has said that she is out of danger. So now it is but a matter of time when she will rebuild her strength for the new life that is to come. So let us leave Lucien and Marianne and the twin brother Louis and travel across the Mediterranean once again to the Latouche household, where the beautiful Emilie, strangely enough, is thinking about the man to whom she was once betrothed, Mme de Franchi. But her thoughts are bitter. There is resentment, even hate in her tone, as she speaks of Louis to her cousin Annette.
It's something I'll never forget, Annette. The greatest insult a man could heap upon a woman.
Oh, a woman? But you're not a woman. Not yet, Emilie. In fact, I don't think you'll ever grow up.
You seem to forget that I'm married, Annette. That I'm Madame Chateau Renaud.
All the same, you'll never grow up. The excitement you show when you see a new hat or a new gown.
I aged when Louis de Franchi insulted me, before my mother and father. Their attitude towards me has been different ever since.
Well, after all, when a parent finds out that his daughter is secretly meeting an old lover while her husband is away...
Stop it, Annette. Don't talk of it ever again. Paul is coming back any day now, and I want it forgotten. I don't want Louis's name mentioned ever again.
Why be angry with me? It was not my fault, Emilie.
Hate him. Hate him.
Exactly what he wants you to do. He wanted to hurt you, Emilie, and he succeeded. I can't understand why you were so foolish.
Nor can I. I've been trying to search myself, trying to find out what it was that attracted me to Louis when I met him again. Anyhow, I want to forget him altogether. Paul will be back, and there'll be so much to do, a house to find, and so much to arrange, and he must never know, you understand, Annette. One syllable from you about Louis and what he did to me, and I'll never forgive you. Never.
Of course I won't tell.
If he ever found out...
Not possible. Naturally, you and your father would never speak of it, and you can trust me. I might be a little envious of you at times, Emilie, but I'm fond of you in a strange way. You're like a spoiled sister to me.
I haven't been very nice to you, have I? Perhaps I'm selfish, Annette. But it's better to be selfish and know it than selfish to not know it. I want what I like, and I usually get what I want.
And now, with your husband coming home, you'll have dozens of new gowns and be the talk of Paris. Oh, Emilie, if only I had half your luck.
Good morning, Lucien.
Good morning, Pierre. I heard some very disquieting news this morning.
Oh, what was it?
You're soon to leave us.
Good things can't go on forever. I've collected all the material I want about Corsica Lucien, and I have my job to do in France. Also, I've just received a letter from Prosper Mérimée. His publishers have a new book, Carmen, which he's written, and he wants me to be in Paris when the first edition comes out.
You and Monsieur Mérimée are great friends?
Birds of a feather and authors keep together.
Will you write a story of Corsica?
Yes. But the story I write could never be the story that's been unfolded before my eyes, Lucien. The story of two Corsican brothers. The strangest, most extraordinary story that could ever have been conceived.
Perhaps a little exaggeration if you were to put it before your readers, the affinity between my twin and myself.
No, Lucien. Yours is a much closer bond than most, but that's because you had to be separated at birth. You were as one. Perhaps you have one soul. At the same time, I've known other twins who had between them a kind of thought transmission. Pain in one reacts on the other, and joy in one uplifts the other.
Well, I'm happy to say that Louis is looking a little better.
Yes, but Dr. Corre says it takes time. He's still very weak, and even though he sits in the garden, it'll be many months before he's able to enjoy life once again.
And even then, he will be an invalid. And it all began when this dastardly girl in Paris broke his heart. Still, she got a little of her deserts.
Lucien, you never spoke much about Paris. Exactly what did you do that hurt her so much? Oh, tell me, please. When I go back to Paris, I shall probably meet this girl again. You humiliated her, I know that.
In a way, that hurts a woman most. To lead her on, to pretend you love her, and then to turn her aside. That's exactly what she did to my brother, so
I returned the compliment.
And she actually thought that you were Louis?
She did.
A great shock. And a great hurt, too, for any woman who has any pride. But those things pass, Lucien, especially with a woman of that type. She'll forget all about it in less than a month. What are you laughing at?
My vengeance is not quite complete.
What do you mean?
There's more to come. When or where it will happen, I don't know exactly. But I can assure you, Pierre, that there is a great deal more to come.
Oh, Annette, my heart is fluttering so quickly I can hardly take hold of my breath.
You should be here at any moment now.
Do I really look my best today?
Really, I've told you 100 times. I've never seen you look more beautiful. Blue suits you. It deepens the color of your eyes, brings out the creaminess of your skin. And with those little black bows, hundreds and hundreds of them, fastened over your crinoline, you look enchanting. Really, you do.
I want to thrill Paul. I want to make him feel that every time he sees me, he can congratulate himself on being so lucky.
Emily?
Yes.
You don't love Paul.
How do you know?
I don't think you could love anyone, really.
Paul has promised me everything in the world. You know what happened 3 days ago? Papa received an enormous sum of money, just so that Paul and I could have a place to live in when he is here. Papa has forgotten all about Louis now. He thinks Paul is the best choice I could possibly have made.
Listen, a carriage. Perhaps this is Monsieur Chateau Renaud now. Oh, look, Emily. It is he, stepping out of the carriage now. Oh, Emily, he's handsome. Isn't he handsome? And why? What's the matter with him?
He's scowling. Perhaps the coachman was late. Perhaps... Oh, but there he is. I shall stand here, Annette, here by the window with the sunshine on my hair. The first picture is so important when a husband comes home.
You love yourself, Emily. I've guessed at last. That is your true love.
Goose. Oh, darling.
Now. Oh, you.
Yes, Monsieur Chateau Renaud, but I'm not staying. You and Emily, you've not seen each other for so long. But welcome to Paris, Monsieur.
Get out of here.
What?
Get out of here. I want to talk with my wife, alone.
Yes, Monsieur.
Paul, what are you saying? Go, Annette, leave us. Annette is my cousin, Paul. To talk to her like that. She's not a servant.
I'm not interested in her. The question is, what are you? I would kindly ask you to give me some explanation regarding this letter which was waiting for me when I returned.
To Monsieur Chateau Renaud. If you value your future happiness, you will question your wife's movements on a certain night not long ago, when she came to my apartment ready to renew a love which was known between us only when we were betrothed. Like the winter's wind, she is changeable, very changeable. And also, like the winter's wind, I think you might find that her love is cold. Franchi.
Yes. And I must ask you to explain the meaning of this letter, Emilie. At once. Well, I'm waiting for your explanation, Emilie.
I don't know what to say.
This letter suggests that you went to the rooms of your ex-fiancé at midnight. That you were acting as though you were still engaged to him and not married to me. Perhaps even more than that.
Oh, no. No.
Well, I'm waiting for your explanation.
Oh, Paul, I love you. I love you.
You love me. And yet you go and visit your ex-fiancé at midnight at his apartment?
No.
Then this letter is not true? Not correct?
No, of course it isn't. He's lying. Yes, that's it, Paul. The man's lying.
Lying? Would a man take such an incredible step as to write a letter like this? Of a woman whom he knows to be married?
Yes. Oh, Paul, there is so much I had to tell you. Don't be annoyed with me. Please don't be annoyed. He was madly infatuated with me, Paul. That's why he wrote the letter. They say that when people are very much in love, they lose their reason. I honestly believe that Louis must have lost his reason when he wrote you that letter.
Then you didn't. Then you didn't go to his apartment.
Of course I didn't. Oh, Paul, how can you think such a thing? Go to the apartment of a man like Louis de Franchi after I met you? Why, he couldn't hold a candle to you. I never gave him another thought after I met you. Honestly, I didn't. Oh, you believe me, Paul, don't you?
Please, darling. You do believe me.
Amelia, you look very beautiful when you're tearful.
But you do believe me. Please say you do.
Yes. Yes, Amelia, of course I do.
Oh, Paul.
You think I'd take the word of a look and water sot like Mme de Franchi? Darling, most certainly I believe you.
Oh, I'm so glad. It proves, Paul, that you love me. Darling, one of these days, I'll prove to you how much I love you. But deep down in my heart is a feeling which I can never explain. Oh. Paul, my darling, tell me, did you bring back the pearls? The pearls you promised me?
Pearls? Yes, my pretty. I told you you'd have pearls from the Caribbean. Pearls to match those earrings which I bought in London. I have them here for you.
Oh, Paul.
I withheld them for a moment because I wanted your explanation. That's true. This letter worried me. But what kind of a man is he to write a letter like this?
I told you, he's not quite sane.
All because of the love of you?
Yes, yes.
Oh, whether he's sane or not, he shall be punished.
Punished?
Naturally, darling. He's insulted you. He's insulted my wife. He cannot expect to escape scot-free.
But... Oh, Paul, forget about it, please.
No, Amelia. I cannot pass a thing like this lightly. Where is this Louis de Franchi to be found?
Oh, Paul, don't let there be trouble, please.
I insist, Amelia. He's insulted my wife, inexcusably and in a blackguardly fashion. I must have some satisfaction.
But that's impossible. You see, he's away.
Away?
Yes, he sailed away almost straight after our elopement. I don't know where he is, but he left Paris and he'll never come back.
Are you quite sure?
I swear it, Paul, I swear it.
You're not saying this, Amelia, just to avoid trouble.
Of course not. Naturally, if he were here, I'd be glad for you to punish him. But he's gone right away. Oh, Paul, my sweetheart. Forget about this odious Louis de Franchi. Think of you and me and those lovely pearls that you bought me. Pearls. In a fortnight, it'll be the opera season, and I shall be able to wear them, sitting forward in the box for all to see. Oh, Paul, you're the most wonderful husband any woman could have. I love you so much. So much.
Amelia.
Fasten these pearls around my neck. Awake at last.
Oh, it is you, madame.
Yes.
How long have you been here?
An hour or more. I was waiting for you to wake, child. Here is some milk and some chestnut bread. I baked it myself.
Oh, thank you. Why are you so good to me? Oh, madame, why?
You are my daughter, the wife-to-be of my son.
It is not because...
Because of what?
Because of the accident. I mean, you're not just being nice to me because you...
Because I did not kill you? Because you have recovered? No, Marianne. Had you died from the wound, it would have been the greatest tragedy of all in the de Franchi household. It would have set a son against his mother. It would have divided her family, and perhaps that would have been the end of the de Franchi. Here, drink your milk, Marianne.
Thank you, madame. You know, madame, now that I have seen Louis and Lucien together, I don't wonder that I made a mistake. It is difficult to tell one from the other, except that, well, there is a spiritual feeling, a something about one that does not belong to the other.
Yes, that is so. I, of course, can tell I am their mother. You can tell now because you love one, and you know of the existence of the other. But before, when you did not know that there were two...
Oh, I was so unhappy when I thought that Lucien did not love me. What made us love each other, madame? Two people brought up to hate each other?
Perhaps that very factor. It is like a child to whom you say, keep your hand away from the fire, otherwise it will burn. Because you had been taught to hate Lucien. Lucien meant something in your life. It's something to hate. But when you met Lucien, and he was not the man he was painted.
Oh, from the way my father talked, my uncle, all my cousins, I pictured Lucien as a monster. Someone with a hard mouth, dissolute, cruel. Instead, in the moonlight, I saw somebody when... Madame, I could talk of Lucien forever and ever.
Come in. Ah, Monsieur Godet.
The patient is awake?
Yes, Monsieur Godet. It seems that everybody has been waiting for me to wake.
She looks better. The last few days have made such a difference. Dr. Curry was amazed. When he left yesterday, he was very happy. He has no fears about you at all.
Perhaps I'm recovering quickly because I'm in love. Oh, I'm so impatient to get well, Monsieur Godet.
I don't doubt that.
I feel there is so much I've missed already. The last 3 years in my father's house. Bitterness, quarreling, intrigue. When I could have had this.
Madame, I have news for you. The time has come when I must go back to Paris.
Oh, no, Monsieur Godet.
But I must. Monsieur Merrimer is waiting for me. There are several things that we have to discuss. His new book and my new play, and then we have so many notes to compare about Corsica.
But you are almost one of the family, Monsieur. But you will come back. You must.
Of course I will. Oh, there's some other news, but I think we'll leave Louis to tell you that. You think he's looking better, Madame?
As well as can be expected, I suppose, Monsieur Godet. But I am very worried about Louis. He limps so painfully. He is so frail now, so weak. If only we could build him again to the strong, healthy man he was.
You know that can never be, Madame. That was the doctor's verdict. However, don't worry about Louis. He's happier than he has been, much happier. Oh, here's the gentleman himself. We've been taking your name in vain, Louis.
Have you, Pierre?
Yes, and I wouldn't spoil your news.
Then you haven't told Mother? We've been talking, Mother, Pierre and I. It's about Paris.
Oh, about Paris?
As you know, I've settled in Corsica, you and my brother and Marianne all around me. Here will be my future life. In that future life, all I want to do is to make you happier than ever before. And there's one opportunity in bringing across to Corsica all my possessions.
All your possessions?
Yes. I have many thousands of francs worth of furniture, some silken hangings, and a beautiful writing table, Mother, which you would love, I know. And a long gilt mirror, which would go from the floor to the ceiling in the sitting room. It would look perfect there. All these things are in Paris, and I feel that they should be here in my home.
Oh, my son. So long as you are happy here and you never wish to leave us again, that is all I care about. Tell me, will Monsieur Godet send all these effects across from Paris?
No, Mother. You see, there may be difficulties. Some of my belongings are still in the house of my foster parents. I shall go across to Paris myself in the company of Pierre. It will be my last visit.
But Louis, won't the journey be too much for you?
I feel better, truly I do.
Well enough to make a journey across to Toulon. Another journey by coach to Paris.
I can rest the night in Toulon.
But you tire so easily these days. The result of what you've been through.
But I want to do this. I want to show Mother the lovely things I've collected in the last 5 years. The gilt chairs, the carved mirror. Wait till you see it, Mother. And a canary in a cage. Not a live one, but a gilt one which sings when you turn a handle.
A gilt bird singing?
Yes, Marianne. It will be for you. One of my wedding presents for you and Lucien.
Oh, Louis.
It's very rare. There are only 2 in existence. And the notes of the bird are so sweet, so pure, so lovely, almost as though the canary were alive. Someone said you can't tell the difference between the song of the real canary and my gilt one. He's like me somehow. He can sing like others of his kind, but he can't fly. Like him, I'm in a cage. A cage made of my own illness.
I still feel that you are not well enough to travel, Louis.
But I feel impatient, knowing that all my effects are across the sea, and that you should be receiving the advantage of them. There are some rose-colored curtains, hand-worked, with pictures of peasant France. You'll fall in love with them as soon as you see them. And a pianoforte.
A pianoforte?
Yes, a walnut pianoforte with motives inlaid in a lighter wood. Fawns and nymphs and masks and flowers. The most wonderful work you've ever seen.
I can hardly believe it, Emily. You're wonderful.
And then my husband said that I looked so beautiful when I was tearful. Oh, Annette, I'm so happy. It's a magnificent feeling that you know how you can play with the will of your husband, drawing it this way and that as you please. It gives you a sense of power to know that you have power over a strong man.
But he really believed you?
Of course. Annette, will you please lace me at the back? My waist is not small enough.
But Amelia, it's too tight already.
I must have the smallest waist at the opera tonight. This is the most important night of all, and I wear my black velvet and pearls. I vow there'll not be another woman in the opera house tonight who can match pearls such as mine.
And this is a dress rehearsal this morning, eh? You fly high, Amelie, so quickly and so high that it almost takes my breath away. When I think of you not 12 months ago with a doting fiancé who had very little money...
And now one of the wealthiest women in Paris. Now, you haven't heard all the news, Annette. I was told secrets last night. My husband has sailed 3 cargoes which are fabulously rich, and which have been enough to buy us almost a kingdom. But I shall not forget you when we stand high here in Paris. Tonight will be the first of many reminders in Parisian society that the Chateau Renaults are to be reckoned with. Oh, tighter, please, Annette, tighter.
Oh, there. Why, Amelia, your waist is smaller. And look at me next to you. Just a sack of flowers standing by the hourglass.
Meanwhile, Pierre Godet and Mme de Franchi, who had set off from Corsica 2 days before and had stayed the night in Toulon, arrived in Paris on this very day. Pierre, who was passionately fond of the opera, soon learned that an opera was to be performed in Paris, one of which he had heard a great deal. He discusses this event with Louis.
If I'd come a day later, I would have been horribly disappointed, Louis. I've heard so much of this opera, Lucie de Lammermoor, yet I've never seen it.
Has it been performed in Paris before?
No, in Naples, yes. But this is the first performance tonight with a new prima donna. Oh, it'll be a night of nights. You must come, Louis.
No, Pierre.
But why not?
I've changed since I've been in Corsica, away from people. Crowds, I mean. I don't want to see them anymore. I know what it will be like. The women smelling of perfume and powder, glittering hard in their diamonds and softened by their feather fans, and the men measuring women up as horses in a stable.
Louis, you sound so embittered. Oh, please, Louis, come tonight. Try and recapture a little of the old Louis that I knew. A happy, heart-free Louis.
I'm frightened.
Why?
She may be there.
She? Oh, you mean Emilie?
Yes.
All the more reason why you should come, since you have a bitter outlook about everybody in general. Maybe if you see Emilie, you'll realize that there's hardness there, too. Once you understand that you've had a lucky escape, I think you'll be a happy man from then onwards. Anyhow, forget about Emilie. She's not worth mentioning. Think of this opera. Oh, Louis, I believe it's magnificent. The story's taken from the novel by a Scottish gentleman, Sir Walter Scott. And the story may be a lesson to you. It shows what happens to the brain when love lays too great a hold.
Oh, if you think it will help me to see this opera and to go out among people, I'll do as you say, Pierre. But for my own part, all I want to do is to collect my belongings and rush back to Corsica.
So early, Paul?
Because I'm told here that one should not miss one single minute of this opera.
Quite true. In Naples it was a sensation. And this new prima donna...
I know who caused the greatest sensation of the opera house tonight.
Who?
Did you look at yourself in the mirror before you came out immediately?
Did she look at herself in the mirror?
For half an hour, monsieur. Without moving, she stared at herself.
You grow more beautiful every day, Amelia. And in black velvet. I've never seen you wear black velvet before. It's always been silver and blues and the pastel colors. But that black velvet and pearls. Somehow, Amelia, gives you a new warmth, a new fire.
I shall tell you a secret, monsieur. She had the dress on earlier in the day, just to make sure all would be perfect. Nothing of the kind, Annette. It was just that I couldn't resist trying on a dress with the pearls. But it ages me, don't you think so, Paul?
No, not at all. The white feathers behind your hair are such a genius.
Only to match my own. Oh, but here we are, Paul. And crowds on each side of the opera house to see us as we walk in.
Yes, indeed. And you'll be the sensation when you appear in the box, not the prima donna.
This way, monsieur. Your opera box.
Thank you. After you, Amelia. And you in it.
Thank you. Oh, Amelie, such a privilege to sit here with you. Opera house is crowded.
That, of course, is to be expected. As they do.
Well, look, Annette. Over there in the box opposite. Frederick Chopin, Georges Sand. And isn't that Victor Hugo down below? Yes. I have but lately read some divine poetry which he wrote. Ought to me.
Poetry? What about his drama, The Hunchback of Notre Dame? That's a magnificent piece of work.
I've heard about it, but not as yet read it.
Well, I shall find you a copy tomorrow. It's an unforgettable book, Amelie. A book that was...
Amelie, look. Across to your right. Oh, Amelie, it is he. Who? Louis de Franchi.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I heard what you said, but I wanted to make sure. Which is Louis de Franchi? Well, those that are staring, which is Louis de Franchi?
The gentleman who sits in the box. 7 from the other side on this floor.
The young one?
Yes.
Oh.
Paul, where are you going? Paul! Oh, Paul, come back. Oh, Annette, what have you done? I was so surprised. I didn't realize. If he makes you see, what should I do? Even now, everybody looks up here. Only because you're so beautifully dressed. And only because you're... Oh, Amelie, he's seen you. Look across. Louis de Franchi stares. I'll ignore him. But I only hope and pray that my husband makes no scene. Here in the opera house, in a debut of all places.
Well, Louis, you've seen her.
Yes, Pierre.
What was your reaction?
It's incredible. She seems to have aged. She's a woman. When I knew her, she was a young, lovely girl. Now she's a woman. Beautiful, proud, the same loveliness. But there's something...
The hardness I spoke about.
Perhaps that's it. She's not the girl I knew. She looks magnificent, yes. Look, opera glasses all over the house are turned on her. But somehow...
I was hoping she'd be here. I felt that if you saw her again, it might cure you.
Excuse me.
Oh, who are you?
This gentleman is Monsieur Louis de Franchi.
Yes.
I am Captain Chateau Renaud, husband of the young lady whom you once knew as Mademoiselle Aimée Latouche.
Yes?
Stand up.
I beg your pardon?
Stand up, you swine.
What did you say?
I said swine. And that's what you are. Take that and that. Why, you old Louis. You, sir, apparently are a friend of this swine. Tell him that my seconds will call upon him tomorrow. I leave the choice with him, whether it be pistols or swords.
Captain Renaud, I implore you. The whole opera house is looking towards this box.
I don't care. In fact, I'm glad. All I do is return humiliation for humiliation.
Exactly what do you mean by that?
I've no need to explain, except that you've insulted my wife. However, tomorrow at 8, sir, my seconds will call upon you, and you may have your own choice, whether it be pistols or swords. Good night.
Louis, I know what happened. Oh, this is deplorable. He's mistaken you for Lucien.
For Lucien?
Yes. There's something you haven't been told. Lucien took revenge for you.
Revenge?
Yes. He told me the story when he came back from Paris. He humiliated Amélie Latouche for what she had done to you.
Humiliated her?
Yes, he led her on and on, pretending he was you, and then he threw her aside.
Oh, heaven.
So you must explain, Louis. You must tell Captain Chateau Renaud that you're not the man.
No.
Why not?
Good heavens, Louis, you're weak, ill. You're in no fit condition to fight a duel.
But I have my brother's honor to consider.
But this would be suicide.
I have the de Franchi honor to consider. That man struck me across both cheeks and in full sight of this audience. Even now they gape curiously. Opera glasses turn on me from every direction. Do you think I'd refuse to fight under these circumstances? If I do, I'm a white-livered coward.
Louis.
No, Pierre. I fight tomorrow at 8.
Oh, Louis. You can be in no mood for the opera now. Let's go home. Let's get out of this box, out of sight of these staring people.
No. I shall see the opera. I shall go into the foyer afterwards and talk with my friends. Why not? To leave this box now would be to appear before this audience like a rat hunted out of its hole. No, I'm no rat. I'll see this evening out just as though nothing had happened.
Back at last. What a nightmare.
You think so?
For me, yes. But for you... Louis, how did you do it? How did you go into the foyer and talk with your friends, knowing that tomorrow morning at 8... You have no fear?
No.
Even though you know that you haven't a chance? Don't you realize that Captain Reno is a brilliant swordsman? And with the pistol, they say that he's an expert marksman. Louis, you have to reconsider your decision. You can't use a sword. You've never fired a pistol.
This time I did, after what happened tonight.
But it's suicide, Louis. Sheer suicide. Oh, please, won't you listen to what I say?
I made up my mind when I was insulted earlier. Nothing would alter that.
But what of your mother? Haven't you any consideration for her?
That's just what I'm doing. Considering my mother. Considering the de Franchi name. I can't withdraw. What's more, I don't want to. Who knows? Perhaps a miracle might happen. Perhaps luck will be on my side.
Are you comfortable, Marianne?
Oh, wonderfully so.
It did not tire you, having you moved from the bedroom?
Oh, I feel ever so much better for it. Sitting here in this armchair in the sun. What a lovely garden this living room looks into. The trees and the flowers and the brook.
Lucien's favorite spot is an enclosed section at the brook. It is there he keeps carp.
Really?
They came from the ponds of the old castle 100 years ago.
They live almost forever, don't they?
Ah, nothing lives forever, Marianne. Except furniture, books.
Oh, speaking of furniture, I wonder how soon it will be before Louis arrives back with his possessions. You must be excited, madame.
I am. I long to see the writing table which he says I will love so much. And the silken hangings, rose-colored, with embroidered pictures of peasant France.
They are for your very own room.
And most of all, I want to see that which will be a wedding present for you.
The canary in the cage?
Yes. How wonderful it will be to hear a gilt canary. A canary which is not alive and yet which sings with a living voice.
Louis is emphatic that no one could tell. It would truly be a wonderful wedding present for Lucien and me, but... Madame... Mother. I may call you that.
Of course, my child. I shall be your mother.
Oh, it makes me very happy to hear you say that. Mother, would you please keep this canary for yourself?
Oh, no.
Oh, but there are so many other things that Louis could give me. I know the canary has captured your imagination.
No, Marianne. If it is in your house, I can hear it, see it. Remember, I am not long for this world. But you and Lucien, you have your lives before you.
Come in.
Oh. I was wondering if you were awake.
I've been awake since 4, Pierre. There's been so much to do. You made the full arrangements last night?
Yes. That young friend of mine whom we met at the opera house, Captain Dumas. He will act as one second and I as the other, as I advised. Since you cannot use a sword, it's to be pistols. 8 o'clock, of course. I think perhaps if I could explain to you, we still have 2 hours. If I could explain how you use a pistol.
It's quite simple, isn't it? All one does is to press one's finger on the trigger.
Yes, but... Oh, Louis, I don't see any hope for you. No hope at all. If you'd only listen, if you'd only be sensible.
No, Pierre. I must fight for the honor of our family. If I die, I at least have shown that I'm not afraid. Here, Pierre. This is a list of my furniture and effects. Should anything happen this morning, you'll see that they're delivered to my mother.
Yes, Louis.
And here, in this box, wait till I open it for you. This is the bird I spoke of. The golden bird in the cage.
What a beautiful piece of work.
Should I not be present for the wedding of my brother Lucien and Marianne, this is to be my wedding present.
How magnificent it is.
Wait, you've seen it, but not heard. Listen.
Oh. It's incredible.
It's something to remember me by.
Oh, Louis.
Oh, a most wonderful speech. What is the time?
Almost 8 o'clock.
Almost 8. And I have slept till now. Why, it is the best rest I have had since I've been in this house.
Perhaps it is because you had your first day up yesterday. Lucien was so happy to see you, Ross.
Yes.
He is a new person now, is Lucien, now that you have come, Marianne. There were times when he was looking so ill.
Really?
Yes. Especially when his brother Louis was imprisoned in your father's house. When he was being lashed.
Oh, that dreadful, dreadful time.
There was one time in particular when we feared that Louis might be dead. Lucien was in a dead faint, and there was a knock at the front door. How were we to know that it was Monsieur Godet?
Who else might it have been?
We feared that it might be a repetition of a happening in our family between ancestor twins. You see, Marianne, when one twin died, there was a sharp rap at the castle door. The other twin went to answer, and his brother stood outside. A vision with blood streaming from him. He had warned his twin brother of his death.
But all that is behind us now, Mother. I will make Lucien happy, I promise you.
I know you will, my dear Marianne. When I think that it was not so long ago that I hated and feared your name. And now...
May I come in?
What did I tell you? Here he comes. Our Lucien, so hungry, so ready for his breakfast.
Quite true. If only you knew the work that Griffo and I had done this morning down at the stables. All the horses are groomed, fed, and watered. And I've even taken one out for exercise. How's my Marianne?
Oh, but she has had the best night that she has ever had. Perfect sleep.
Yes, Lucien. And you?
I was restless all night. Still, it's another day now. Yes, I was restless, tossing and turning with nasty dreams.
Good gracious, the visitor.
At this time of the morning? Don't go, Mother, I'll answer.
Very well, my son. But whom can it be? I do not know. At 8 o'clock in the morning.
I'll soon find out.
Mother, I think Lucien looks a little tired this morning.
Do you?
Yes. Of course, I know he's been worrying about me.
Oh, still now that we know you are well on the way to recovery, it will be better for all concerned.
Look. In the doorway.
Lucien. Lucien. You're so pale. So white. Your eyes there. What is it, Lucien? What is the matter?
The visitor.
Who is it? In heaven's name, what is the matter, Lucien? Who is it?
It
was my brother, Louis.
What are you saying, Lucien?
It was Louis.
Louis? He's back?
It was Louis standing there looking at me when I opened the door. Louis, with a wound in his forehead.
No.
Blood flowing from the wound.
No.
A look of appeal in his eyes. His lips moving, but I heard nothing. Then it vanished. Vision.
Oh, Lucien. It means only one thing. Your brother is dead.
Yes.
The tradition repeats itself. Oh, Lucien, how did this happen? You heard nothing. Louis did not speak.
No.
Oh, Louis.
Oh, Mother, don't cry like that. Please don't cry. Oh, Lucien, it can't be true. It can't be. You don't know for sure.
I was never surer of anything in my life, Marianne.
But Louis is in Paris. He's safe.
Louis is dead.
But how? Why? If it was here in Corsica with my family hating your family so much...
I don't know, Marianne, but I've got to find out. And at once.
Where are you going?
I'm taking the first boat from Ajaccio. At this moment, somewhere in France, Louis' body lies, still warm. I must find out why he died and by whose hand.
Oh, Mother. Mother.
Dear God in heaven, rest his soul. Rest the soul of my beloved son, Louis de Franchi.
With not another word, Lucien saddled a horse and galloped off to Ajaccio, where he was fortunate to board a cargo steamer about to set sail for Toulon. With his lips set in grim lines, he stood in the bow of the ship, which ploughed its way across the Mediterranean towards France. As the skyline of Toulon loomed in the distance, his eyes and his mind tried to pierce beyond to Paris and to what he might find. It was some hours before he had finally disembarked, hired a coach, and driven at breakneck speed to Paris and to the apartments of his brother's friend, Pierre Godet. Even as he alighted from the coach, he saw that the windows were open, signifying the fact that Pierre Godet was at home. It was only when he raised his hand to knock on the door that his face twitched in great fear of the news which he knew full well Pierre Godet would give to him.
Lucien, you?
Yes.
Oh, come in. Lucien, what on earth are you doing in Paris?
Where's Louis?
Louis?
Yes.
Lucien, sit down. I'm afraid you shall have to prepare yourself for a shock. I have bad news for you. Very bad news indeed.
I know.
You know?
Yes. My brother is dead.
Who told you?
Louis.
Louis? Lucien, what are you talking about?
Louis came to me in a vision. It is the tradition of the de Franchis when a twin brother dies.
And that's what has brought you hurrying across to France. Oh, Lucien, it's tragic. It only happened yesterday morning.
How did it happen?
Your brother died of an illness.
An illness?
Yes, he was very ill indeed.
What kind of an illness?
Well, oh, Lucia, it was a strange malady, a fever. It came suddenly and...
Why do you lie to me?
What?
Why do you lie? My brother was shot through the head.
You know?
Yes. Why do you lie?
Oh, Lucia, I don't know what to say to you. I lied because your brother begged me to lie.
What?
He knew that if I went to Corsica and told you the truth, that it would bring you here post-haste. You see, your brother didn't wish you to go the same way that he went, to die as he died. He felt that, well, you have your mother and Marianne to protect if you were killed too.
Who killed him?
A certain Captain Chateau Renaud.
Chateau Renaud.
Yes, Lucien. He mistook Louis for you.
So, it's Chateau Renaud again. Chateau Renaud with that vile woman by his side. A woman who's done nothing but bring bad luck to the de Franchi. Where is he to be found?
I have his address somewhere here, but... Oh, Lucien, take heed. Your brother was right. You have too many responsibilities.
My poor brother. It was a duel?
With pistols. Louis didn't have a hope. He'd never used a pistol in his life before. And yet, in the early morning, he went to the appointed place outside Paris. He didn't flinch. There was no fear in his heart. A true de Franchi. A de Franchi that your mother and you should be very proud of.
Write me the address.
You're determined to see this Chateau Renaud.
Write me the address.
Ah, there you are, my pet. I expected you to be all dressed up, ready for the reception tonight.
I don't think I should be going, Paul.
Oh? Why not?
I was so upset about this morning, I mean.
Come here, young lady.
Yes, Paul.
Look up into my face.
Yes, Paul.
What are you worrying about? The man lied about you, didn't he?
Yes.
He wrote me a letter in which he said that you went to his apartment at midnight. It was a lie. You told me so.
Of course it was.
Well, then what are you worrying about? The man is dead, and I'm glad I killed him.
Yes, of course.
And I think the best thing you'd better do is go upstairs. Put on a gay dress and the clothes I gave you, and come with me to the reception.
Forgive me for being so depressed. I was worried. Very worried.
You were worried, perhaps, that I might be killed?
Yes, that's it.
My dear Amelie, young de Franchi's grave was dug when he challenged me in the opera box. Why, he didn't even know how to hold a pistol. Just imagine it, Amelie. Fighting a duel with me, perhaps one of the best marksmen in this country, although I say it myself.
Oh, Paul, let's forget all about it, shall we? It was so horrible. I never slept the night before, and then on that morning, waiting for the duel to finish. You don't know what I went through.
Yes, it was unpleasant, but sometimes, Amelie, we have to face unpleasant things. It's most necessary. Come in. Great heavens.
Louis! Louis de Franchi! Oh, no!
Am I going crazy? You're dead.
It's a ghost. A ghost come to haunt us, Paul. It's all my fault. I lied to you. I lied. I did go to his apartment. And because I lied about it, you killed him. Take it away. Take the vision away.
Just a moment. I am not Louis de Franchi. I am his twin brother.
Twin brother?
Yes. If you look closely, you'll find that I am a stronger man than my brother. He was very ill when he came to Paris. And when you shot him in cold blood...
Christy, look at you.
I still can't believe...
But I am not Louis de Franchi. Look even more closely, madame. And remember.
Remember?
Remember the difference between my brother and myself. My brother, whose heart you broke when you met this man, whom I assume is your husband, and the brother who burst into your boudoir and took you in his arms. What's this? The brother who persuaded you to come to his apartment at midnight, and who then threw you aside and made known the fact that you were little less than a courtesan.
It's not true.
You have already admitted this much, madame, when I first walked into this room unannounced. It's time your husband knew the truth about you.
By heaven, Amelie, you have admitted it.
Keep away. No, Paul.
You little Jezebel. You two-faced little Jezebel.
No, Paul, please. I didn't mean it.
Just a moment. It's not my wish to intrude on a domestic scene, but I am presenting myself to you, sir, to make it known that my brother's death must be avenged.
Meaning?
Meaning this. I gather that will suffice?
Certainly. Where can my seconds call?
At Monsieur Godet's apartment. And since I am in a hurry to return to Corsica, I hope 8 o'clock tomorrow morning will be convenient. At the same appointed place where my brother fell.
You're in a hurry to go back to Corsica. You flatter yourself, monsieur. Is it to be pistols or swords?
Whichever you wish.
Very well. Swords. And I might remind you that I am considered one of the most expert swordsmen in France.
Won't you do this thing? Oh, Monsieur de Franchi.
Don't talk to me. My work with you is done, madame. I have humiliated you enough. I have shown you as you really are before your husband. In the wrecking of his life, my brother's score is completely settled. It now only remains to deal with your husband, the captain. Goodbye.
Paul, why don't you speak to me? Paul.
Get away from me. Take your arms from around my neck.
Oh, Paul.
Oh, you lied to me. The letter that de Franchi wrote was true, all of it.
Yes, yes.
Why did you lie?
I was frightened, Paul. Frightened at what you say.
So you went up to this man's apartment at midnight thinking he was his twin brother.
Yes, I didn't mean any harm. Truly I didn't, Paul.
No? So you're just like the rest of them. I might have guessed. The flick of my fingers you threw Louis de Franchi over without a thought. Is it any wonder that when temptation comes again you forget me? You little adventuress.
I love you, Paul. Honestly, I do. But don't look at me like that. I love you so much that if anything happens to you tomorrow... Oh, Paul, don't go. Don't deal with this man. He seems so sure of himself, so strong.
Not like the other one, eh? He was a weakling. Well, don't you worry about that, because I know how to take care of myself. And if I don't, there's one thing I want you to understand, Amelia. Not one penny of my money goes to you. Do you understand? It's quite obvious now that you married me for my money. Very well. Anything happens to me tomorrow, not a penny will go to you. Not one penny, you courtesan.
Marianne. Maria came running to me. She told me that you wanted to see me urgently.
Oh, I have news for you, wonderful news. This letter has arrived just after breakfast.
From Lucien?
No, Mother, it is from my father.
Your father? Do you know Gaducci?
Yes, I can hardly believe it. And yet here it is in black and white. Let me read. My dear Marianne, since you have left, my heart has been very heavy. You are my only daughter, and I think of you constantly, day and night. A cloud has come between us, a cloud which will darken my heart forever, and perhaps drive me to an early grave. On your part, I know that you have always been fond of your father. That is, until the de Franchi came.
The de Franchi. Lucien.
During these hopeless nights of thinking, I have been able to reason many things in my mind. Gossip has come to me, of course, that you are living in the de Franchi home, and that soon you are to marry Lucien de Franchi. That means that you will become a de Franchi, one of our hated enemies. And then the night before last, in a blinding flash, an inspiration came. Perhaps, Marianne, you are an emissary of peace. Perhaps through you, peace will at last come to this island, between two families who have hated each other for centuries. Because, should there be issue, the baby would be both de Franchi and Gadici. How then could a Gadici hate the baby? How could a de Franchi hate the child?
Oh, Marianne.
Oh, but there is more. With these thoughts in my mind, I write and ask you, Marianne, if it would be possible, with this marriage, to end the vendetta of centuries, to be able to say, not I hate you, but we love us. You and Lucien de Franchi can unite us, if only the other de Franchi will accept these thoughts in the spirit in which I write them. I am anxiously awaiting your reply. Your loving, though unhappy father, Dino.
Why, Marianne, he wants our friendship.
Oh, it was a great effort to write this. He must love me very dearly. Perhaps more dearly than I thought. How do you feel? How would Lucien feel about this? Lucien, who was stabbed by my father. You, who have suffered so much.
What is that your father says in the letter? Should there be an issue? He is right. Your children would be both Ghidici and de Franchi.
It would be wrong, very wrong, if their ancestors hated each other.
Oh, you mean...
I mean that if Lucien consents, your wedding day will mark the end of this hideous vendetta. My prayers will be that this will truly happen. Peace where there was strife. Happiness where there has been blood.
Come in.
Oh, you're a stir early, Pierre?
Yes. I was wondering, Lucien, if you... But you're not up yet.
No, Pierre. What is the time?
6:30. I've been so worried I didn't sleep. What's more, it gives me a strange feeling coming into this room and talking with you now, Lucien.
Why?
It was only a few mornings ago that I came in here and your brother, the image of you, was in this room preparing for the same mission. A duel with Captain Chateaurenaud. I'm wondering now if...
Yes.
Never mind.
Go on. Speak on, please.
I was just wondering if there would be a repetition after the duel was over.
Tell me about it.
I'd rather not.
But I want to know. After all, Louis was my brother. And I loved him.
There's little to tell except that a surgeon was there. We had your brother's body taken to the church. A priest prayed over him. The next morning, a horrible, grim morning, windy and cold, he was buried. It was as Louis wished. He didn't want you to know, nor your mother, that he died of any other cause but a fever.
And yet he might have known that I was to be warned. The vision, our family tradition. Oh, I'm glad. Glad that I'm able to be here to avenge him. Oh, well, Pierre, it's time that I rose. I have to bathe and shave. What's in this box?
At this time on the other morning I spoke to your brother. He came over to this box. He opened it as I'll open it now. Look.
The bird in the golden cage.
Yes, the gilt cage with the bird that sings. He told me to be especially careful about that. It's his wedding present for you and Marianne. I was to give it to you should anything happen to him.
Oh, poor Louis. Oh, Louis. Your bird shall sing. Yes, but it shall sing with joy, because I shall take him back to Corsica. And he shall sing for the triumph that will be ours when I avenge your death. Pierre, why so downcast?
I'm sorry, I'm not a very good companion, am I? But somehow I feel so depressed to think that for the second time in a few days I'm on my way to another duel with another member of a family whom I admire so much.
But this time the chances are more evenly balanced. You didn't tell me what happened, not in detail, when Louis was so brutally murdered.
It was a duel.
It was a duel. When the boy didn't even know how to pull the trigger properly. Tell me, what happened when you arrived at the place? Did this Captain Chateaurenaud throw out his chest and gloat at the prospect of meeting my poor sick brother?
Well, we were at Vincennes at about this time, and then... seeing that we're stopping, waiting for Captain Chateaurenaud's carriage. His carriage arrived, and then we entered the wood by two different roads. It was arranged, as it has been arranged on this occasion, that our coachmen meet each other again in the great avenue.
Look, Pierre. There's our friend's carriage waiting over there.
Oh, so it is. I'll signal them.
Oh, they've seen you.
That means we start up again and meet later. All right, coachman. You can go on now. Into the woods by this road. The rest of our party will follow behind us. Well, Lucien, only a few minutes more.
I can hardly wait. My impatience is so great that I can hardly wait to test my strength against that of our common enemy.
So the carriages drew up at the appointed spot, a clearing in the woods not far from Vincent. From the other direction came the sound of the rattle of wheels, and soon Chateau Renaud and his seconds were also on the field. Pierre Godet and the young man who had acted as second for Lucien's brother Louis helped Lucien off with his coat, rolled his sleeves for him, and then Lucien was given the choice of swords. Selecting one quickly, without hesitation, he stood his ground in the center of the field, waiting for Chateau Renaud to come up. Chateau Renaud was much slower. He examined his sword carefully, tested the steel, turned it this way and that, and then finally walked slowly towards his opponent. After the usual formalities had been observed, Chateau Renaud spoke.
Before we begin, you're perfectly satisfied on this occasion?
What do you mean, on this occasion?
I understand from my seconds that you are not quite pleased with the treatment your brother received.
I didn't say that. I did happen to mention that my brother had never used a pistol in his life, nor a sword. It was rather like suicide, wasn't it?
Very unfortunate for your brother.
And perhaps unfortunate for you, too. Who knows? Are you ready, monsieur?
Quite ready. I think our seconds had better stand back. Would you kindly clear the field?
Of course. Come, gentlemen.
Ready?
Quite ready.
Very well. On guard!
Unfortunate, monsieur. I've pinked you already.
Not enough, Captain Renaud. I hope to do much more. Perhaps this. Just a little too quick for me, weren't you?
Stop! Stop it!
Who's this?
Of all people, my detestable wife.
Stop it! I won't allow it, I won't.
How did you find this place?
I bribed one of the servants. He found out from the coachman. Oh, Paul, you mustn't go on with this. The blood of one man is on my head. Not on another, please.
Take her away, Monsieur Delaval. Take her away, will you? Drag her away and let us finish.
No.
Renaud, come with me. You must.
They'll kill each other.
Unfortunately for you, madame, you know that if I die, you get none of my money. Quiet, madame. You must come to your coach. Let me take your arm.
No.
I insist, madame. You must come to your coach. Come, madame.
Grasping Emilie firmly by the arms, Monsieur Dalibard and Pierre Godet escorted her off to the coach and were about to send her away when she promised that she would keep her peace. Even before this was done, the duel had continued. Pierre Godet, returning quickly to the clearing, saw that Lucien had received yet another wound in the arm, this time a deeper wound, from which the blood flowed freely. This, however, did not seem to affect his rapier-like thrusts, which were parried miraculously by Captain Renaud, who proved to be a super swordsman. On and on these two men fought, and it seemed to the waiting seconds that soon one must tire. It was almost as though it were a test of fortitude rather than skill. And then suddenly it was all over. So quickly, so unexpectedly, that each one of the party gasped. Lucien, in a split second, had seized an opportunity and thrust his sword home. Even before the seconds had run up to the inert figure on the ground, Captain Chateau Renaud was dead.
Lucien! Lucien!
Take my sword.
Oh, Lucien. Thank heaven it's not you lying there.
It almost was, Pierre. My arm. Twice he struck, and twice I was a little slow.
Well, messieurs, everybody is satisfied?
Yes, we are satisfied.
Quite satisfied. All has been correct. Come to the coach quickly, Lucien. Let's get away. I didn't think it would happen this way. When twice you were wounded.
I've done my duty. I've avenged my brother's death. Nothing more, nothing less.
Listen. It's Emilie. She's seen what has happened. Oh, good heavens, here she comes, running toward us.
He's dead. Paul is dead.
Yes, madame.
I'm sorry it should happen like this. But you have only your just desert. You killed my brother just as though you'd taken a sword and run him through.
What would I do? All my husband's money is gone. To someone else's relation. He's left me nothing.
Money. Is that all you can think of?
But don't you understand? My father and mother. Paul told them the truth. They'll have nothing to do with me.
What should I do? Where should I go?
So all you can think of is your own welfare, money. You can go where you like, madame. But if my guess is correct, I know where you will finish. The dirtiest gutters in the filthiest quarter of Paris. That is your destiny. Goodbye.
And so Lucien and Pierre Godet travelled in the coach back to Paris and to Pierre's apartments. During the next 2 days, there was much to do. The collecting of Louis's few possessions, which were to be consigned to Corsica. It was with a heavy heart that Lucien read the list of instructions which his brother had made out. It was also with a heavy heart that he bade his brother's friend, Pierre Godet, goodbye on the docks of Toulon, where soon he would set sail once again for his native home, Corsica.
Well, Pierre, this is my last journey.
You're quite sure, Lucien?
Oh, yes. When I go back to Corsica this time, I go to stay. My memories of Paris have been far too unhappy.
You'll give my love to Madame and to your fiancée.
Thank you, Pierre.
You will be happy, Lucien, I know.
No, I hope so. And yet, there will be complications, the vendetta. When Marianne and I are married, there will always be the one barrier. Not a great one, perhaps, because our love is so great that it can surmount all. But our families have hated each other for so long.
I know, Lucien. But if you love truly, you can conquer any obstacle, all obstacles.
There's one promise, Pierre, I want to extract from you. You will come to the wedding?
Oh, Lucien, I shall try. I promise you I shall try. But there are so many things that I've left undone. So much has happened since I met the Corsican Brothers.
Oh, Pierre, you've known Louis for such a long time.
Indeed, yes. But I didn't know then that he was one of two brothers, twin brothers. Well, Lucien, your time is almost up. Time to say goodbye. Perhaps I will be in Corsica for the wedding.
That is my earnest wish, Pierre. And Marianne's, too. Goodbye, Pierre. And may you be blessed for the kind friend that you've been to the de Franchis.
And so Lucien, his heart a strange mixture of sadness and joy, boarded the boat which was to take him back to his native land. There was sadness over the loss of his brother and joy in the contemplation of a reunion with the person he loved most in the world, Marianne Gadici. In Ajaccio, elaborate arrangements had to be made to transport the furniture and other possessions which Louis had arranged for transportation to his mother. As Lucien's horses brought him nearer home, his heart grew heavier and heavier, since it was to be his mission to tell his mother what had happened to his brother Louis. They were waiting for him, Madame in her black velvet, and Marianne comfortably settled in the great leather chair in the sitting room. Madame, of course, had heard the hoofbeats when Lucien was far away. She was composed and serene, her indomitable spirit proving that she was a woman of courage, ready to receive bravely the news which she knew instinctively Lucien brought.
Well, Lucien?
I don't think there's any need to tell you, Mother, that Louis is dead.
We knew that. We knew it before you left here. How did my son die?
In a duel. He fought a duel with Emilie's husband.
Emilie again.
But it's enough to tell you, Mother, that he died bravely. Monsieur Godet says that he knew no fear. That he was fighting for the de Franchi honor. And that you must certainly be proud of him.
It is good to hear that. Good.
As you know, Mother, all his possessions have arrived. There are many cases in the courtyard, and... well, there is something here. Something which was to be for you and for me, Marianne. Our wedding present.
In that box?
I'll open it.
Oh, the bird. The golden bird.
So Louis kept his word. The golden canary in its cage. The canary which gave him so much delight, of which he was so proud. What was it he said? You turn the key. Where is the key, Lucien? Where is the key?
Just here, Mother. Listen.
How beautiful. How very beautiful.
Mother, you must keep this bird. It's too beautiful for us. It's too real.
Oh, it is for you, my children.
No. This is part of Louis. That lovely, clear song. Like his mind. Fresh and clean. Soaring high like a bird. Guileless. Perhaps too good for this world. Later, Mother, when you get old, when you've gone, it will be for us and for our children.
Your children. How good that sounds, Marianne. Lucien's children and yours. And this bird in a golden cage, a part of Louis to hand down. Yes, Marianne, I will keep it for your children. Turn the key again, Lucien. Please turn it again.
Very well, Mother.
Listen to that lovely voice. Almost real. It is real. What were Louis's words? I can almost hear them now through the song. Yes, Louis, I can hear.
The notes of the bird are so sweet, so pure, so lovely, almost as though the canary were alive.
Yes, Louis.
He's like me somehow. He can sing like others of his kind, but he can't fly. Like him, I'm in a cage made of my own illness.
You have left your cage, Louis. You have escaped your illness at last. And we will always remember you. We and our children, to whom your canary will sing, as he sang to you.